Gary, G Functional here. This is a desk sitter series. The list of movement solutions that are potentially beneficial for individuals who sit too often or sit regularly for work is vast. Human movement has a richness and nuance that cannot be captured by a small set of behaviors. These behaviors are indeed valuable for that population, and I believe generally for the global general population. This movement series is designed to establish healthy expression of the pelvis and spine as it pertains to stance, triplanar movement expression of the northern hemisphere of the body, provide guided self-massage and muscular release of the neck, establish powerful gait-related contractions of the whole body, and ultimately tap into the body's natural elasticity and energetic expression. Those things seem valuable to you. Enjoy the ride.
The pelvis shifting and tilting forward will represent the front of the pelvic spectrum in stance, and the tail tucking with the backward shift, the back end. The front end of the spectrum will coincide with the heel lifting and unloading, as the backward shift will unload the toes. Avoid letting the knees bend during the posterior tilt to optimize recruitment of the pelvic structures. Use the hands to facilitate these pelvic rotations, and as you initiate a change in tilt, also initiate a change in direction. As you become more fluid and familiar, allow the rest of the spine to flow and cascade with the movements. Start slow and make sure to find a space for your breath as you familiarize yourself with these pelvic dynamics. Begin by spiraling the arms inward, bringing the scapulae forward on the rib cage, and vice versa. Then, bring the arms to the most outwardly stretched position and perform the same inward and outward spirals. Invite the spine to complement those rotations by flexing forward on inward spirals and extending the spine backwards on outward spirals. Allow the head to bow and lift, further complementing the movement within the sagittal plane. Then, perform alternating spirals of the arms, inviting the spine to side bend in the direction of the arms spiraling backwards and pulling down. Be sure to optimize the compression and elongation dynamics by digging the elbows into your side body and stretching the top arm as high as possible, getting as much expression in the frontal plane as possible. The last expression in the global north is the transverse plane. Both arms will spiral in the direction of the trunk's rotation and result in dynamic stretching of the front and back lines of the arms. As always, make sure to find a nice place for your breath as you travel from one end of the movement spectrum to the other. Take a casual step forward, soften the forward knee, and extend the back. Allow the back leg to have a subtle outturn to invite a higher degree of glute recruitment and to bias pelvic position, keeping it as still as possible while you seek to rotate through the rib cage. Arc the forward arm with thumb rotated down and seek to bring that scapula as far forward as possible. Once you've made sure the forward scapula is snug to the rib cage, press back with the opposite arm to finalize the position. Once there, perform powerful expansive inhales and torso-constricting exhales. Then, seek to wring out a few more degrees of motion, bending the forward knee further while keeping the back pinky toe connected to the ground. Four easy self-massage techniques for desk workers. First, upper trapezius. Begin by reaching down towards the horizontal bony margin of the shoulder blade, dig your fingertips in, and drag forward towards the collarbone. Also look to explore the fibers of the trapezius that live near the shoulder. Next up, levator scap. Reach your opposite arm over your shoulder and find the middle and uppermost bony point of the shoulder blade. Then, pin and drag your fingertips up along the back and outside of your neck, all the way up towards the base of your skull, as is being demonstrated here. There's the spot. Next, SCM. You can see the line of the muscle runs from where the sternum and collarbone meet, and then runs up just behind the ear. Stroke upwards along the line while leaning the head back and away, then back downward as the head returns to its upright position. Lastly, a little love below the collarbone. A bunch of neck muscles converge on the rib cage under the collarbone, and the pec major has broad attachments roughly to its midpoint. Dig in, work your way down, and if you find a hot spot, spend your time accordingly. On to bouncing and energetics. Begin bouncing by bending the knees, keep the hips back in space, then allow the shoulders to begin bouncing with the rhythm. As the bounce deepens, the heels will lift off. Be sure to keep the chin level with the horizon and shoulders as broad as possible. Breathe as you sense into all the parts that are absorbing this bounce. Elevate the intensity of the bounce by adding a flight phase and letting the toes leave the ground. Let the arms and shoulders hang free and explore neck tensions by leaning your head side to side. Start slow and make sure the bounces stay within your comfort and control. Now, on to shakes and whips. Perform quick twists of the arms, then drive those twists down towards the ground. Open the hands and drive the arms in any direction of your choosing, as if you were violently shoving something away from your body. Also, legs can have whips. Start by snapping some kicks forward, outward, and backward, but feel free to get creative. The last expression combines arm whips with a propulsive leg drive. As mentioned before, get creative and find your own kind of intuitive, energetic expressions.